We'll screenshot it on there. Oh, oh,
Well, there's a surprise.
hey. Haven't tuned in a long time. What's happening?
Not much.
Hang on, let me switch my audio to headphones. Shoot. Oh, wait. Okay, say something real fast.
Something.
I don't know.
Hey.
I have no idea, but you missed our group. You missed at least for one, at least in one part, at least. One of the most emotional things I still have to sit through.
What I miss? Are you live streaming right now? Did I just jump into live stream? Or are you just getting ready for one? Let's see. My subscribers. You are live right now. Shoot. I can't see the video. Do you just do it on the chat now instead of a call?
I was kind of wondering about that too, because like, oh yeah, go over to this different page on Discord. It's like, oh, this is okay.
Yeah, sort of. Sort of percent trained voice channels across the servers. Only, surprisingly, there are a few things that can still be done.
Can you still share screens on it? I don't think you could, or can you?
Yeah,
You
it looks
can.
like
There it
you
is.
can,
Oh, that's
because yeah, turn on camera, share your screen.
wow. Look at that. Looky there. Looky there. Ooh. Ooh.
And there it goes.
I made a test earlier, so
And it's back.
I basically made a
Oh,
test
look at
earlier,
that. It's
so it's
working. You made a test trailer.
no, I was testing earlier to make sure these things are to make sure these things are just as they are in the regular chat.
Oh, okay.
Not like, oh, this map's. Do alternate rounds. Okay, let's do guy. Or games like. Okay. Alternate rounds, yes. So what's been happening with you guys? Haven't talked in a while.
Eh, been really busy, both with work and family stuff, and it was actually okay. I was originally gonna do a game stream today, but Zeldathon ran a bit long, and turns out so my cousin and his girlfriend and went away for the weekend. Wasn't expecting them back to like at least tomorrow, but apparently it was gonna start snowing really bad up there, so they came home early.
Like,
Uh,
oh boy,
but
tank me.
maybe tomorrow. I don't know. For all I know, we might just be doing work around the apartment.
Crazy. I don't like this one. I'll take it. Like this.
You know, I'm
What
gonna
have
see
you been
what
up
the
to,
weather's.
Alex? I'm sorry.
That's all right. Was just gonna say that. Gonna be keeping an eye on what the weather's gonna be like. According to the news, it's like the wintry fun is basically over now, but it is the Pacific Northwest, so who knows?
Yeah. Can really
Yeah,
do
because
anything still.
I didn't go to work last week because
I
everyone canceled.
yeah, yeah. I didn't I had trouble going into work too, and it was my first week, so that sucked. That's not fun. It's kind of scary, trying to get everything lined up and you're like, I don't want to miss out or do anything wrong, you know what I mean? So you can totally
Yeah.
imagine like it always sucks. I hate this monkey. This monkey's a trash. What you been up to, Alex?
I was definitely gonna add that. I was definitely gonna add, given the weather in around these parts. Yes, things t- things have a tendency to change. Things have a tendency to change. At this point, actually, I think the snow is starting to diminish a bit. So shouldn't be too long before we can finally go out. Shouldn't be too long before Dad and I can finally go outside and finish the decorating.
Yeah.
Yeah, the snow kind of made us mostly do the indoor stuff. Still have a couple of things to take care of, but we'll back to normalish eventually.
And now I'm wondering when I'm gonna be called over to my aunt's house to help take down the decorations. Because it's high up. You need the tall person around to do stuff. uh, oh right, last week I also finished helping tear up the kitchen floor tile. So supposedly the floor is getting redone soon. So it'll be interesting to see.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I was
Remodeling.
sore for several days afterwards.
Let's see. Aside from that, our New Year's festivities as always, and I did remember the game, and I did remember playing Game of Life, and I did remember to bring down Game of Life in honor of one of the one of the developers who passed away earlier this year.
Hmm.
Made a bit of an addition also, in the form of a TV special. Aside from of course, aside from the week, just so aside from the weekend, aside from the weekend, well, aside from the weekend, mostly lots of package arrivals, and fortunately, one of my money check service should be arriving pretty soon.
Hmm.
Shoot. Soon. You guys have been pretty busy.
Yep.
What do you got planned for this next year? Do you got any New Year's resolutions? I know it's cheesy, but you gotta ask, right?
Uh, Usual stuff. Try to lose some weight. Finished
No, we're
cleaning
not.
up the
Yeah.
apartment.
Are you in an apartment?
Oh yeah, it's like I moved into an apartment with my cousin and his girlfriend, and like, eh, when was it? I want to say it was around April, May or so.
Is that big on? Is that a big change?
Yeah. I mean, on the plus side, I live right across the street from a Safeway, so shopping's convenient. Also across the street is my where I can pick up my medicine, and a few blocks away is my doctor.
So
So
they don't
rather
really need
convenient.
to. Don't need to drive at all anymore.
No,
Well, that is
and actually,
handy.
yeah, and a bit further away is a nice little Japanese restaurant. Yeah.
I need to get back to working out a bit. I got a rowing machine. Definitely need to be using that more. But I'm going to have more of a schedule now due to the new job, so that'll help.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have kind of a anchor to do things around.
Also, gonna be wrapping up season 3 of my snack show in a couple months, I think.
Hey.
I need to see how big the backlog is currently. Wait, did I say season 3? I meant season 2. Ugh.
Right, I think. Yeah. What have you been watching? I haven't seen all of what you've been watching, but like I've seen some of it. But what was some of your more favorite things you've watched recently? How far are you into Gravity Falls?
We're about slightly more than halfway through season 2.
Dang, getting close.
Yep.
What are the thoughts? Summation.
Very solid writing. Like, it is consistently good.
Yes, that's kind of what I came away from it thinking as well. It's it's just well done. Everything is well thought out.
Yeah.
There don't there don't seem to be too many like wasted moments, as it were.
Yeah.
Same here. Nate, did you get the photo by sent in chat?
In this chat, how do I look at this chat? In main? Wait, hang on. No, wait, can't look. No, it's in general. Is it a GIF?
Podcast chat.
Oh, podcast chat. Ah, look at that. Dang, is that your setup? Look at that setup.
Oh, yeah, that's actually changed a little bit. I have since upgraded to a desktop and have a proper chair.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I got a RTX 3080 and everything.
Sheesh. My setup's been all messed up, and it's kind of dirty right now, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, mind you, due to lack of space, I'm down to 2 screens, but whatever. Once I get a bigger desk.
IKEA has a lot of those, and they're actually not too bad.
Yeah. But I'm in no rush. Like, 2 screens is fine for now.
It's kind of, yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of basically how he's looked at how his been doing things for the past 4 months.
Yeah, less laying down and more sitting up.
That's probably better for you, I guess. I don't know which is better.
Probably.
Ooh, look at this. Freeze-dried cherry, blueberry, and grapefruit blend. Try this. Boy, I got for Christmas. Look at that. All fancy, like. You ever get like food? You just get a bunch of food from Christmas, and you just like eat half of it really fast. This almost. Are these grapes? What are these? Oh, they are grapes, huh?
I actually got some snacks for Christmas. I believe it was my Aunt Dawn's boozy balls. Like little bit of kind of alcoholic chocolate snacks.
Ooh.
But the food thing I've used the most that I got on Christmas was actually my sushi making kit.
Ooh.
Yeah, has like the knife, the sushi tube, the bamboo mat, those little trays that you put the sushi in with the clear plastic top. Comes with some of those as well. Yeah, I've only used it twice so far, but so far it's really good. Actually, what was it? The night before last, I actually made. Yeah, New Year's Eve, I made some cheeseburger sushi.
Cheeseburger sushi. I've not heard that.
Oh yeah, I got the sushi rice, got some ground beef, and okay, I used provolone because it's what I had on hand. But you make do with what you have, you know. And I
Yeah.
rolled it all up, and I posted that to Facebook. And of course, I had to post a link to a certain online comic. Let me see if I can't find it.
Also been a tradition for me to end up getting some end up getting some sweets. Though usually they're stocking stuffers. This year, however, the stocking stuffers were stuffed into a Christmas Eve treasure hunt present.
Yeah, I posted the link to the comic in the podcast chat. Like, yeah, I was making the meal. And it's like, wait, cheeseburger, sushi. Wait, I'm sure I've seen a web comic on this.
Let's see. Oops.
Eh.
Ooh. What are your plans for the next year? Are there like new podcast plans?
Eh.
Oh wait. Okay, there it is. Well, I have managed to add a little. Well, for a while now, I've been adding something seasonal to each cast to keep in theme with the month.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's good. I need to set up my drawing screen. I haven't done like any art recently. Well, okay. I've done SVG files for my laser cutter, but I haven't done like just dedicated art in a while, which kind of sad. Mainly because of the move, but and getting everything out. And then I'm gonna have to move in another year, so it's kind of like,
Ah.
do I feel like doing that? And move out this time, like in a year, move out to like my own crib with the wife. I don't know where we're gonna stay. Yeah, we're gonna figure that out.
Might explain the waterfront view that I saw in a Snapchat.
Yes, yeah, that's where I'm staying right now. It's my cousin's house. I'm renting a room right now from them.
Hmm.
It's got a nice view of Lake Meridian. Um. Oh shoot, DDT. Okay, okay, we're good. Destroyed that easily. Oh shoot, there's another one. Oh, please, bombs, get it, get it. No! Is it gonna be enough? Is it gonna be enough? Okay, it was. Okay. Whew. Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah, easy win. Okay. But yeah, that's gonna be fun. There's a lot of changes coming up soon, and it's scary. Thought about tiny house, but we'll see. Probably just gonna have to rent a condo or just an apartment or something for a bit. And then maybe try to buy a house or put a down payment on a house, but we'll see.
I'm truly gonna miss that basement and that pool and that garage.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. My parents do still have a pool. They're just in a different state, so it's a little harder. uh, they do have a pool. They've moved to Arizona, and I can't go with them yet because of the job. And I don't know if I want to go to Arizona long term. And the job kind of limits where I can go, really. So, I mean, I can go to. They could possibly transfer jobs. I could possibly go to. I think there's a facility in Texas, West Texas. It's a launch site there, and then there's one in Alabama, and then there's one in I think Florida. No, there's one in Florida, and there's one in Washington D.C. But I don't want to live in Washington D.C. That sucks. And it's also, I think, just offices. So whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to think about coming up. Lots of decisions to be made on top of venue for the wedding and everything. And also just holding down the job, which is scary. It's always scary to start a new job. You know, you don't know the people really, and you want to make a good impression. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, catch up so far. Time to get back to continue to Disney, but a different case. It's 100-acre month.
Yay.
Yay!
Yes. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. We actually watched 2 episodes that are actually linked. God, Winnie the Pooh. I haven't watched any of that stuff in like I don't even remember when.
Freaking loved it as a kid. I had like all of the stuffed animals, man. It was awesome.
I honestly can't remember that far back.
I only know because I had my mom like brought them out, and it was like, "Oh, it's your stuffed animals," and I'm like, "Yeah, I remember these." kind of vaguely.
Yeah.
Distantly.
Like any good Disney fan, it's safe to say I've pretty much engrossed myself into I managed to engross myself into pretty much all the most of the avenues. Most of the avenues. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts, obviously, but I am aware of that, so that's close enough.
Give it time. With any luck, it'll be on Steam by April.
On Steam. Interesting.
Well, yeah, if it's a 1-year exclusivity deal with Epic, then I think it was like the end of March that it came out on PC. So by then, or early April, theoretically it should potentially show up on Steam. Which is when I'll buy the games again.
I did.
It seems like you do that nowadays all the time. Sorry.
I did see the cutscenes for 3 though, and I really love their additions.
And don't worry, if it doesn't make any sense to you, some of it doesn't make sense to Kingdom Hearts fans either.
It's right there for a second.
Sometimes you just have to go along with the insanity.
I am.
No, that sounds a little sketch.
I am certainly aware of the mixed feelings a lot of players have a tendency to get.
All you need to know is that basically by the end, everyone is either Sora or Xehanort.
Right. No. Let me try and remember that.
But yes, I've seen a good number of the films. I've seen a decent number of the TV shows. Even the community-generated preschool series. Thankfully,
Okay.
I didn't see that controversial puppets thing.
Sorry, I was drinking. What were the episodes about?
So,
From the New
Rabbit finds this baby bird.
From the New Adventures from the 90s, Find Her, Keep Her, and A Bird in Hand. Both that deserve to be watched together due to the character that's introduced.
Yep, a bird named Kessie.
I don't remember that one. I don't.
Oh yeah, since it has been a while since you've been around, we kind of switched up the format a bit, being less recappy and more talking about like the themes and characters of whatever we're watching.
See.
Let's just say a friend of his managed to throw in a few suggestions to try and spruce things up.
But yeah, so Rabbit it gets a bird, very protective of it. Basically, like, oh, okay, doesn't care much for it at first, but basically she's like, "You're my dad now," and Rabbit's like, "What?" And like, yeah, obviously, Rabbit was not prepared for this. But as time goes on, he eventually becomes more attached, and we also learned that at many of the characters of the 100-Acre Woods should not be left alone with a child unsupervised.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, it's like dangerous hijinks ensue. Lives are put on the line. Bird learns to fly eventually, which Rabbit is not happy about because, like, no, going high means you could fall. Falling is bad. But,
Technically.
but you know, Cassie's a bird, and it's winter, so, or it's eventually winter. A lot of time passes in this episode, or at least it seems like it. But yeah, eventually Cassie has to fly away because that's what birds do. But like, yeah, mostly everyone's fine with this. Like, that's fine. Rabbit, it's like he doesn't want to let his baby go.
And I am slightly upset. And I am slightly upset now that you actually don't remember this because,
Shoot.
jeez, this episode gets emotional.
But Rabbit eventually accepts what has to happen, and they say goodbye, and Cassie leaves. And there was much sadness.
No, it's much. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
We do also get a bit of an explanation as to because for a while some of the characters were not accept were tad bit confused over how the tad bit confused over the relationship between the two.
But yeah, so should we go into the? We could probably go through the other episode and then go over the characters and themes, since it is kind of like basically part 2.
Ooh, I got close.
So, second episode, Cassie returns. Now grown up. And is it wrong? I'm sorry, but like the new design for Cassie, it's like, sad to say, my first thought was, oh no. I'm certain people have drawn Rule 34 of Cassie.
No.
Like, the more grown-up design, like,
I'm scared. I'm scared to know.
yeah. Like, episode 1 Cassie was just a bird. Episode 2 Cassie.
Put it back. Don't get me started.
I can kind of.
Definitely a lot less compact.
I can kind of see where I can kind of see where you're coming from, and trying to be a little more human, trying to be a little more humanoid.
Yeah. But yeah, Kessie's back, all grown up, but Rabbit still sees her as his sweet little baby. But yeah, again, she's grown up. She doesn't want to be treated like a child. So it's like, oh, okay, I'll show him that I can, be on my own and all that stuff.
That jazz.
And
Just be glad they have. Their,
apparently now we have. Go ahead.
just be glad they have their limits.
Yeah. And I guess now we have villains in Winnie the Pooh now. Like,
I wasn't aware.
I know, like, yeah, Stan and Hef, I guess. It's like, their whole thing is capture the bird, ransom her for honey.
Or I could see why Stan Pines would be in this. He's definitely a bad guy sometimes.
Wrong Stan, but I could definitely see him doing this.
Somehow I should have seen that coming.
Yeah. But yeah, eventually they end up capturing everyone, which then gets them into the dilemma of, wait, if we've captured everyone, who are we ransoming them? Ransoming them to? And Cassie, either Pooh or Cassie, like, basically, why don't we ransom ourselves to our? Why don't they ransom them to themselves? And now you have to take care of the prisoners, or else, why would they pay the ransom for themselves? Oh, okay, clearly we've got into weird cartoon logic.
Cartoon slavery.
Like,
It is a decent plan, though, to get themselves out of the situation.
yeah. And basically, they have to make sure that okay, I'm trying to get like the right words for this, because like the people being ransomed are also the people paying the ransom, and then the two that captured the basically have to keep the other group. Holy God, my head. It's confusing to explain. Basically, the kidnappers have to keep the group happy, or else the group won't pay their own ransom.
Logic.
And Cassie starts going like, "Oh yeah, it's time for our afternoon nap, and we want milk, but not cold milk, warm milk, but not hot milk. Now we're not thirsty anymore. Time for bedtime story. No, not that bedtime story. Oh, but no dragons. Dragons aren't good. No, we're past story time now." It's like, basically, she was pulling a rabbit, because that's how Rabbit used to be for Cassie, and Cassie weaponized that. But yeah, the plot is thwarted. They get free. Everyone was happy. And I guess Rabbit finally accepts that, yeah, Kessie's grown up now. And that was basically it.
with the exception of with the exception of a classic trait, Pooh decides to stay behind and clean up. Quotes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a giant pool of honey involved in the escape,
As always.
as always.
Obligatory.
Like, no, Pooh, don't eat that honey. It's been on the floor. It's been on the ground.
Bears, am I right?
Yeah. But yeah, the characters. So, starting off with Rabbit. Yeah, that definitely getting like the kind of overprotective of doesn't want to let their child go kind of vibe with Rabbit. Like, especially for a character who like didn't start out going into this as like, oh yeah, totally gonna be their parent, but then went all in. Like, yeah.
I think Rapid does that, yeah.
I've warmed up to him over time because at first his perfectionist attitude wasn't attitude wasn't wasn't quite my thing as a kid. But with episodes like this though,
Yeah. The vibe I got from Rabbit is that he's definitely grumpy, but if he really cares about something, like, he is just ooh, very protective of it. Like his carrot field. Very much protective of that. No, mind you, these are children's cartoons, so like, it won't have. And I know that, like, some children's cartoons are a bit more deeper, but, like, these are meant for small children, so there won't be quite as much character depth as we would normally talk about. But still decent writing.
Just because it's for
So,
kids doesn't mean you don't have to have a good story. You don't.
yeah.
Yeah, Sniper Monkey Go, holy smokes.
with episodes like this, he warms up to me over time. Show definitely does get its more folk. Surprisingly, okay, better way to explain this. Shows actually a decent balance. A decent balance. The more you look at it, there are deep moments, but there's also comic hygiene, since of course this is animated.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh is a whole show like that.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. Like, wait, there's villains? But this is Winnie the Pooh. Since when does Winnie the Pooh have villains?
these ones were a bit more of a. These ones were more of a. These ones were more of a smaller scale, though.
Well, yeah, but still. So, time to talk about the key character of the episodes, Kessie. Kessie definitely gets a lot of character development throughout the two episodes, given that she's the key character. Starting off as a playful little bird, and wants to be really helpful, but Rabbit taught her how to plant carrots, and she even decided to plant her own in a special little pot because it was her first planted carrot. She wanted it to be special, and then wanted to have fun with Pooh and Tigger, which of course leads to dangerous hijinks.
Anything involving Tigger.
Yeah. Yeah, somehow jumping to the top of a tree caused it to fall down.
Don't question 100 Acre Woods logic.
It's like, only way that would happen is if that tree has been dead for a while.
I was about to say that given its height and lack of leaves, that could have something to do with it.
True, but yeah, maybe. And like I said before, the time span in this episode goes over a long period of time. So it's like that, like maybe it was a dead tree, or maybe the lack of leaves, maybe it was because there was like fall or something. But that's the point where it's like, oh yeah, Kessie Lynn's like, wait, I'm a bird. Birds can fly. I'm gonna learn how to fly. But Rabbit is having none of that. But yeah, I guess he still goes behind Rabbit's back and tries to learn how to fly. Because, Kessie's a bird. Birds do that. Flying is kind of their thing.
You might say.
And yeah, eventually Kessie has to fly away for the winter. But she's hesitant because Rabbit's not there and she wanted to say goodbye. But of course, Al's like, now you have to go now.
Leave us.
And starts to fly away, but Rabbit does eventually show up, so she actually stayed around just long enough that she got to say goodbye. And then later she comes back all grown up and not wanting to be treated like a child. Or basically, she's in her rebellious teenager phase. Like, goes off on her own, like, I can take care of myself, and ends up immediately getting kidnapped. Like, yep, this is a children's cartoon. Yeah.
Always happens. Dag nabbit.
But she is the one that ended up, whose plan ended up getting them all out of the mess.
It's not really her fault.
Yeah.
And they all got captured in the end, so it wasn't like she was a
Yeah.
fluke or something. Everyone got captured.
I also learned that apparently everyone other than Rabbit is illiterate. Like, they cannot read at all.
I think so, because, I mean, Pooh can't write honey on his bottles and stuff like that, I think they're all illiterate is kind of the fun part. or a joke, running joke.
Uh, yeah, because the kidnappers left a note on Pooh's door. It's like, "Hey, we got the bird." They have
The bird.
no idea what it says.
Hmm.
So they end up going to the area and getting captured anyway, which led to the whole, wait, we kidnapped everyone, who's gonna pay us the honey situation. It's like,
Why do they want
we got the bird. Fine, give us the bird. Sir, this is a children's cartoon.
Give us the money or we off this one. Whoa.
It is certainly interesting to note that the character gobbleness may have contributed to the charm and likability that most people are familiar with.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess he was a good character. It's like, got some well-rounded development. Nothing unlikable about her. Like, she is a good bird.
It is safe to say the relationship between the two is one of the reasons why people really loved these episodes. I know she was one of the major reasons I been coming back, have occasionally come back to her for the past decade or so.
That's I was more impressed that like, oh wow, actual continuity in a children's cartoon.
That's a new one.
Or at least a children's cartoon of that particular type. Which I assume to be more like standalone, each episode is its own kind of thing kind of show. Now for Pooh and Tigger, they're kind of there. They interact with Cassie a bit, but like they're not really the main focus of the episode. Mind you, like I said, they shouldn't be left unsupervised with children, because Tigger's plan almost ends up with him falling off a cliff and Cassie falling off a cliff, only to be saved by Elle and realizing that, oh wait, I'm a bird. Birds can fly. And then for flight training, it's like, okay, we are going to slingshot you off of this cliff, and you're gonna fly.
See, we're going with the Scootaloo way of learning how to fly.
Well, yes. And unlike Scootaloo, Cassie actually does learn how to fly.
So it is a confirmed successful way of flying. Learning how to fly. Too soon.
Yeah.
They do share their wisdom. They do share their wisdom moments, like like I said, the ending monologue of the first episode. Sometimes some people care too much. I think it's called love.
Yeah. And of course, a related thing of if you truly love someone, sometimes you have to let them go. Which was kind of unsaid, but It was basically there.
What's happening on my screen?
And then the villains. Mind you, they were only in like one of the 2 episodes, but wow, they're idiots. Like, okay. Solid starting plan, kidnap the bird, ransom for honey. Pretty basic.
Bob's your uncle.
But they immediately managed to screw that up by capturing everyone. And then falling for the, okay, you'll ransom us to ourselves thing, and I still kind of get confused trying to explain that.
But again, it works. Pooh never gets two extremes of, say, Avengers or
Well, yeah.
Kim Possible.
Aliens don't come in, you're saying?
No aliens, no mad scientists,
What the heck?
no world domination plans.
What the heck?
Also, I
Wait,
related
what
what
other
the heck
reason
to
is there to be bad?
a bit of a what the heck for Rabbit, and they're like, oh yeah, we're ransoming the bird for the honey. And Rabbit's main objection is they never sent a ransom notice.
We forgot something.
It's like, really, Rabbit, that was your concern here.
It's a hill he chose to die on. I respect the man.
Their incompetence is surprisingly fitting, given the demographic of this series.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like fairly well written a pair of episodes. Given, the demographic it was aiming for.
With most of the episodes, I had a tendency to focus on more as a kid. I would occasionally forget. That even this franchise has a tendency to get deep.
Yeah.
And a little bird is definitely the best allegory for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, at this point in their long illustrious careers, we had Jim Cummings in the titular role, who who we actually met in 2017.
Nice.
Also glad that scandal finally dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Licorice John Fielder as Piglet. Combination of Cummings and the Licorice Paul Winchell. Kit Simpson, whom I dare say is a bit more familiar than Junius Matthews.
Hmm.
Hal Smith, another one of three who was in the first film. Laura Mooney, Amber Hood, and Stephanie Abruzzo. And the Liquid Chuck McCann.
Mm-hmm.
What is your overall thought of the episodes?
Pretty good. I like them.
I surprisingly still get emotional when it comes to the first one.
Yeah, that one did hit a bit hard.
Would you come back and watch them?
I mean, if you had to watch any 2 episodes, you could definitely do a lot worse.
often as I would question, often as I would probably question over, but they would definitely rank them up in their favorites. Man, that nostalgia really hits.
How long ago did you watch them first?
Hmm.
Mainly ask Alex.
I think it was really young, really young by the time we saw the video cassettes they were on. Honestly surprised I still managed to remember them earlier in the decade.
Hmm.
And with the specialty of checking things out from the library, it was certainly one of the nice ways to sit back and reflect.
Picking up books from the library, even movies. I haven't done that in too long.
Yeah.
Man, when's the last time I checked out the library? Like what? At least 5 years ago.
Then a little later in the previous decade, inspiration struck again, and actually made a music video about the relations between those two.
Hmm.
Easy money. Easy money. Have you guys played this game, by the way?
Nope.
It is an app, but I bought it on Steam for like $3 or something. You buy it on your phone, and this is technically the 6th installment of this game. To be honest, I remember playing it back on like on Flash on like school computers, Balloons Tower
Yeah.
Defense. But then it's a lot more fancy now. It's got like 3D graphics. Wow. Used to just have like
Wow.
little sprites basically that you moved around on the screen. I have played too much of this game, as you can see. Way too much of this game. Holy total pop count. 148 million pops. Total pop count online 8 million. Way less. They even have like the types of. Wow. Look at that. Cash generated 140,000. Co-op hard chimps. I've only got one of those each. What's up next for next week?
Speaking of apps, our friend actually managed to find a way to stream from his phone.
Ooh.
Really?
I was talking about Colin.
Oh.
I did?
I believe on a few occasions you managed to stream a few mobile games.
Oh, no, I was using an emulator.
Close enough.
I mean, I could stream it from my phone. But yeah, I find it less of a waste of battery if I just use an Android emulator.
Oh boy.
Eh.
But again, yes, every January is always meant. Every January, I've always meant to come up with something based around certain names, certain mainstream properties, and this year we're looking across three different avenues for Pooh.
Yep.
We've gone over we did the TV shows this week, and next will be a direct-to-video.
Hmm.
So, Nate, have you seen the new Generation movie yet?
What?
Have you seen the new Generation movie yet?
Oh yes, yes, I have. I have observed it. It's pretty good. Um, Pretty kind of plays it very safe. From what I can remember, uh, kind of a kind of fast paced to character development. You know, we don't really know these characters too much, and they've already got like she's already got her wings and stuff like that. So, but it's like a special type of wing, I guess. I don't know. It's like not really wings, but like spectral wings or something. I don't know. And horn. So it's she like Cadence 2.0. I don't know.
According to interviews, apparently that is a power-up of sorts.
I'm going to my Super Saiyan. You haven't seen me in my Super Saiyan. I guess it makes more sense than what like happened in all of the episodes from that last show, where they just like a rainbow laser. I mean, it's a little less spectacular, I guess. I'm sure you heard this, but like, have you watched Arcane?
Not yet.
What? Of any people, I thought you would have watched it. Holy smokes!
I've been really busy lately.
Good stuff. Highly suggest it. Really sad, but very, 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 very much worth your time.
So I've heard.
So good. I've never played League of Legends, so you know. But I mean, I still love it. And I didn't know any of the lore, so lore really isn't important before watching, which is good. Very character-driven story.
Yeah, and to be fair, even if you did know the lore at some point, I think they rebooted it at some point.
Why are you stabbing my door? I do not consent. I'm being stabbed. Don't come in here. I have a partially completed gun. You want to see? You want to see? Like, oh shoot, my bolt carrying group fell out. Hang on. Don't come in yet. Don't come in, Mom. Oh shoot. Okay, I got it off. You guys got any bullets? 223s, preferably. I don't got any. Oh, there's a magazine over here. Hang on. Hang on. Does it actually clip in? No.
If I could, I would dig up the archery stuff.
It doesn't lock in. I don't have any. Hang on. Oh shoot, this thing's falling apart in my hands. Here, let me lock my door and take out the heretic.
Wait, so why do you have a partially complete line?
It was my Christmas gift.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's registered as a pistol.
Which that's probably not gonna stock then, right?
What?
Not gonna stock then, right?
No, it needs a lower kit, which you can buy online, and it needs a spring, and it needs a stock, and it needs trigger and a grip,
And it needs you to be a hateful son.
Yeah.
When you go shoot or something.
I'm gonna, yeah. And I read
That's all you could possibly be if you have a gun.
Exactly. So especially a pistol.
Yeah,
Come on.
a black gun.
It's black.
It's
It's red. It doesn't have any wood on
It's
it.
also racist.
It's true.
It's like, why would you color it black unless you thought black people killed
What are you saying? I should give it like a white. Immediately gets dirty the first time you shoot it.
But then that would symbolize your white racism. So I think it has to be.
This is complicated. This is really complicated. And now my dust carrier, what is it called? Dust.
Dustpan?
What's it called? No, it's,
I don't know.
there's like a little door on the side of an AR, and it's to cover the bulk carrying group from getting dirt and dust inside of it. It doesn't click closed. I don't know why. When you rack it back, I guess maybe I'm missing like something. Okay, it's just really stiff. Okay,
In any case,
what's that?
it seems you could. From what I've been researching stuff, it seems like you can make your own gun at home really easily.
Oh yeah,
Like much more easily without any.
I could 3D print parts for this.
Exactly. Well, you can make your own rifled barrel.
Barrel.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying.
You can't 3D print them.
No, you'd have to do it.
But you can rifle.
You rifle it too?
This is gonna go clear through.
No, the bulk carrier group's in the way.
There we go. I don't know how guns work.
Let me get it up.
Yeah, you essentially what you do is you buy some standard piping made out of steel up to standard, which is not really that expensive or special or anything.
You guys taking down the barrel of my gun?
That sounds sensual.
It does sound.
But so you do is you. Well, that's fantastic. You
A lot smaller than you
What is
think.
you buy some pipe.
It's like 007.
You buy some pipe, and then you literally just 3D print a part that is like it's literally a plastic rod with grooves cut in the shape of the rifling,
Okay.
and then you run wires down the grooves,
Oh.
and then you get a tub of salt water and run
It's a tub of salt water.
You connect the pump up to it, have it sucking water from the salt water up one end, and then pushing it down through the barrel, and then back into the tub, so it's circulating. Then you run a ton of power through the copper wire,
Okay.
and that's on that rod that has the rifling cutouts that are like it's like if you cut grooves in a rod in the pattern of the rifling, but shaped to hold copper wire. Right.
Oh.
So
Do you guys know how to get a bulk carrier group back into the barrel?
my dad. In any case, point being, what it is, it's electrolysis. So apparently, the way electrolysis works is that it actually conforms to the shape of the metals it's jumping between. So if you have a bunch of wire twisting through a barrel and it's running electricity through it, then the grooves that get cut will actually just be where the electricity is jumping between the wires and the barrel.
Oh,
So you end up with rifling grooves that are perfectly good.
good enough.
Yeah. And
And you like choose. I guess you could choose the thread count.
yeah, I think
Because different threading, or different boring. I don't know quite the name terminology, but like, I do know that if you have a tighter grouping, but if you have more spirals per,
yes.
square inch or whatever, you put more of a spin on the bullet, and you can have a more accurate.
But it probably slows down a little
It
bit.
probably slows it down.
So accurate.
You need, I guess, one with more powder in it. There's a lot of stuff that goes into the science of getting a bullet. And like AR bullets, if you shoot them, if you shoot them to their max length, and they're supersonic, right? They're supersonic when they come out on ARs, right?
Unless
when-
you get a special bullet.
Unless you do like a blackout or something with a really short barrel. But once they go a certain distance, they become subsonic and they start to tumble really bad. So like I know certain bullet types, like to be supersonic or they don't fly very good.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it depends on the weight too, because AR bullets are really tiny, actually. And like, like a 9 mil is like, a lot of them are like subsonics, and they're quite heavy. So I think they gained a lot of their um uh, their stability from how heavy they are,
Yeah.
not from how fast they're going. There's a lot of stuff you can get into. Like, you can make like, so my dad was talking about, you can make like this rifle, which is like a short rifle. This one's only like, I don't know actually how long this is, but it's probably only like 12 inches or something like that of a barrel. If it had a really high um, um, number of threads in it, then you can get it spinning fast enough that it would actually go decently far.
Hmm.
But I don't think you have to pay a lot usually for that, just to keep it fitted.
There goes the other one. Yeah, I think
It's kind of cheap.
if I
Maybe do a leather strap or something.
yeah, I think if I yeah, well, once I what was I gonna say? Once I job,
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to be building credit. Gonna have to be.
Oh, at the bank or something?
I'm gonna use a credit building debit card. Oh. Which is kind of an oxymoron. It really doesn't make any sense, but I guess it's possible. And if I were to pick up and be like, I'm not accepting their credit. They're literally just spending what they have in their account.
Yeah.
But whatever, I don't care as long as it works. So I'm gonna have to be spending money. No, I suppose I could just spend it on something that could easily convert back.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really feel like that. So maybe what I'll do is
Lego sets. Buy Lego
I can
sets
sell them again.
and sell them again later. Yes.
Or
They said, I saw a recent thing that says Lego sets are a better investment than gold. Yes, because the return is higher. Like,
that's
because
crazy.
I mean, like the Super Star Destroyer, Lego Super Star Destroyer. If you bought it for like what? It was like $500 when it first came out. They're selling them in box for like $4,000 right now.
Problem is that that's only in the consumer economy. If there's
Yes.
an economic crash,
There's an economic crash and it dies.
yeah, it's not really good. Not overall. But anyway, point being, I think what I'll probably do.
Unless it becomes a currency. unless Lego does.
I think what I'll probably do is I'll buy the parts to make my own ghost gun,
Ooh.
and
there
then
you go.
also
This is license.
also I was thinking, what's it one? Something else that we could ghost gun.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even illegal
Actually, it's somewhat illegal.
if you sell them.
Washington.
If you sell
Well,
them.
obviously, yes, but they're making they made it more. It's like
Oh.
I made a plastic ghost gun. I would have to insert metal into various parts to make them look like the parts that they are. Really, on an airport scan.
Why? You're not flying with it or something.
Oh, but if you choose to fly with your ghost
Well,
gun,
you're
it's
saying-
entirely out of plastic.
So you have to embed metal in it. Okay.
Your ghost gun has to look like a gun under a skin. But that's like fun too.
Just wrap it in tinfoil.
Like surprisingly, Washington's laws aren't actually aimed at preventing guns from dispersing. They're just aimed at not allowing them through airports.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Odd. I would expect them to.
Yeah, you'd think it would be like illegal after laws they'll try to make it illegal.
Yeah, they didn't end up doing it. It's very strange to me. Did not.
Maybe they tried, but it
I'm
didn't.
sure they did. I'm sure they did.
tried. But then they're like, okay, we'll allow the airport stuff. If that makes sense. But like, you can. I mean, there's like, what is it? There's like a book you can buy on Amazon, and it's just like how to make a gun from like Home Depot. It's literally really easy to make it out of.
Shotguns are easy.
Shotguns are real easy.
It's two pieces of pipe.
It's literally
One
two.
little cap and welded on the one bigger than the other. Pin in the back.
Technically, all guns could be like that. I mean, you could make just any gun
Yes, you could.
like that.
But
Right.
it would be.
Shotgun makes the most sense. Yeah. Shotgun makes the most sense because it's the biggest bang.
You could do a single shot, accurate rifled two pipe rifle. Like,
How?
well, because you just You know, electrolysis thing I talked about. Right? Just get another pipe that's bigger and then weld fixed pin on the back of the pipe.
Okay.
And then you just slam them together. And if you had it lined up right, it would actually be accurate because it's
I
right.
feel like you could even do something a little more fancy. Now you have two pipes, right? And maybe you weld the back of one, right? And so you drop the bullet down into it, right? Kind of like mortar, right? And then you have the other one slotting into that, and then you have holes. Maybe you weld a pin onto it, so then you and a spring connecting to the back. So when you pull it past the pin, it's kind of like a door lock or something, and it goes back and slides back and hits them together. So you get a trigger, a really simple trigger.
I don't follow that. You have to okay.
I'd have to draw it out, but except it might not because there's a lot of mass moving. If you did that, there would have two pipes moving together, and then that's kind of that'd throw you off. That'd be like, you know, kind of like right before it hits it, you get a bang. Just make a blunderbuss. It's easy.
I was telling Catherine about something I'm gonna spend a lot of money on once
You know what? Cannons are legal. You should make a cannon. Yes, all cannons are legal because they're inefficient and no one would actually do it because it's just way easier to make a bomb than like make a cannon. So like you can make like a 1600s wheeled cannon and put it behind your car. Howitzer. You do mortar from like Age of Empires. A great bombard.
I wonder how big your cannon could be before they decided that it was not funny anymore.
I wonder if it's the type. You know what I mean? Like if it's a shell, then I bet they won't let you. Meaning like it's a shell with a cannon.
Did they rifle those?
Technically, cannons are not rifled,
But
no,
no,
make it a cannon.
Modern large guns like on naval ships.
Yeah, you actually get into some weird naming because like the Abrams tank is sometimes labeled as a rifle because it's like it has a rifled barrel, like a really high precision rifled barrel, so it's like technically a rifle.
That's
technically a
odd,
rifle.
right? Because
Yeah.
you think at large sizes
It should just
it
maybe
should not work anymore because if you think about it, right, the grooves can no longer really be very big.
was it not bored? I think yeah, sometimes that does. I think that is true. I think sometimes it doesn't make any sense to rifle it anymore.
Well, but here's the thing.
And what they would do is
Rifle.
Yeah.
I would expect that even if the wind doesn't cause it to spin, the initial exit from the cannon would cause it to spin.
You'd hope, but why are there fins on them? Like like an AP FSDS has like
What is that?
it's like a high armor piercing round, and it pops out, and then a shroud comes off of it, and it has fins that open up.
Oh, but fins are much more effective than grooves.
Yeah, I'm saying. So why would you need the fins? Is it just to keep it stable? From
Well,
flipping?
maybe. Why does it have a shroud in the first place?
No, it's just to keep the fins from scraping against the barrel as it flies in.
Maybe it needs to spin more than grooves ever can. Make it
Probably.
spin.
You think the fins help it spin, or
Or like
they
perhaps it
probably have
prolongs
a
the
bit of a
spin.
canter. Yeah. I mean, they also have just rocket propelled. Yeah, they fire as
You shoot it
like a
and
stage, and then it flies out. Yeah. And they have like it's funny because some of those are actually wire guided. There's literally you can see it on the camera sometimes. Video of it is literally a wire unspooling as it flies to the target to guide it in. That's like the most. We still sometimes use that because it's like the most unhackable or because it literally the wire is what's telling it to go off and where to go. So like the laser guided or heat seeking ones are like they both can be goofed up because the laser sometimes in foggy conditions doesn't work, and also heat can be baked. You can check and all that needs other things.
You made me think of for some reason you made me think of that mine sweeping vehicle that shoots out explosives on just like a big line.
Oh yes, I've seen that. Yeah,
And then it lands and it goes, oh.
it blows. Oh yes, it's like sausage links. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of C4 on the sausage on the link. I love there's a bunch of like weird vehicles that have like one purpose. like that. Like there's that vehicle that is just for minesweeping to just make a single road that's clear through minefields. There's also ones where I saw one. It's like called the Hedgehog, and it goes and it launches a bunch of these little baby grenades, and they fly out in the whole field. Right, you can launch it in the field, and they roll around, and they're kind of like little mines, and they always have a pin sticking up. And basically, it's just like how to set up mines in a whole field like in seconds. But you also have timers on them so that they don't like permanently disable that field. Yeah, so you can have one for like, the battle. If a battle comes, it's gonna be tomorrow, so you just set it for like a 24-hour thing. And then if it doesn't happen, then they just all go off. Yeah, all of the whole field goes off. Some of that's like mines are almost like are used. I think less because well, against big nations are used, right? If you're a big nation fighting a smaller nation, the smaller nation might use mines because
Pretty good deterrent.
they're pretty good deterrent. But like nowadays, you just missile them or something. It's a lot of mines
They're
are
sweeping machine
Yeah.
and just go over them in a plane.
There's so many bad things to mines too. Like if you put mines up, then you can't use that road. Like so, you kind of like it's kind of like just shooting yourself in the foot, so that you hope it shoots them in the foot, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why are you holding the sword?
Uh,
Feels good. Gives you power.
not sure.
You channeling. It's.
I wanted a prop to shove under the door, I think.
I mean, it's a good thing, yeah. Are you gonna sleep with that near your bed now? So if somebody comes in, you can just stab them.
Wake up in the morning and accidentally stab through.
Run them through. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, I accidentally stabbed myself in the leg.
You're sleeping with it on you.
It's just like
You're gonna hang it from the ceiling, point down. Ah, yes. Like a Egyptian king or something.
like a Norse lord.
North Lord. Yeah, that's what they usually suck with.
Or a
Door.
Rohan.
Yes. Then the dwarfs get buried with like battle axes or something. That was supposed to be the lore. Then they have what were the statues? The statues had swords too, didn't they? Pointing at, or they just are hands.
The statues? You mean the ones over the river?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I don't know what that sword is. It's like got Celtic on it, and then it's got like Persian stuff, and then it's also like a
Probably
Chinese. Chinese. There. What did the Chinese start? The Chinese had like, more like, what they have like cutlasses. What did they usually run with?
What kind of weapons?
Yes, I guess they had those poles with the
Yeah, I think it would be.
mainly lances and stuff.
Yeah, what do you call it? Halberd? No,
Halberd was
halberd is an axe with a
yeah, or on a stick.
halberd is an axe and a spear.
Oh, that's what, yeah.
Longer or shorter? One of the two.
They had the little fuzzy spears too.
Yeah.
With the ones with the
What
fluff,
is it? You put like a
like a sword on the end of a stick.
curved sword on the end of a stick. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, like that. It's very useful either.
It does not sound useful.
No, it's like really heavy, and it's kind of like it only works on one edge. So you're like you have to hit them like this. You can't just stab.
Let's get down to business. What weapons do they have?
We're gonna look this up. What do the Chinese?
Yeah. The Chinese have a what? Well, first look at when the Huns attacked China.
Spelled China. No.
Maybe the. Okay, let's just go at 100 AD or something like that.
100 AD. Chinese weapons.
Weaponry.
Images.
No,
They were these things, yeah. Kind of like
very standard.
very standard, boring. No.
European, really, if you look at it.
Yeah.
Or maybe European was Chinese.
Wow, this is what they had in it. Wow. Stinger missile. Jeez.
Yeah, over the course of history, they did tend to be
These things.
What the heck is that?
What the frick is this?
It's a
A
one that
dive sword?
Oh, Dow's
Dao sword?
Digi sword? Maybe neither of those. Maybe it's just listing things.
That's fun, we.
The Chinese Pudao, originally an infantry weapon, has been adopted. I think it's Pudao. Look up Pudao. Pudao.
How do you spell Pudio?
Like it sounds. Pudao.
Pudio.
Breaks down.
Yeah, these things.
Okay, well, go to Wikipedia though. That's the question.
Okay, that's not almost. It's not almost like a spear. It's kind of like in between.
Like
It's shorter than I thought. Look at this dude.
it's interesting how it's shaped basically like a Middle Eastern cutlass.
Yeah, like a cutlet. I mean, it kind of makes more sense there. I thought it was more of like a spear.
But if you look
We're
up
just kind of using it like a.
what does Wikipedia say about it?
Like, this is what I was thinking. This is pointless. What?
What does Wikipedia say about it? Well, it's a Podao
A Podao.
or Pudao. A Chinese single-edged infantry weapon which is still used primarily for training in various Chinese martial arts. The blade of the weapon is shaped like a Chinese broadsword.
So they have
Weapon has a
broadswords.
handle, usually around 1 to 2 meters, 3 to 6 feet, which is circular in cross-section. It looks similar to the Guandao. We should click on that next. Sometimes called a horse cutter sword, since it is speculated to have been used to slice the legs off a horse during battle. It is somewhat analogous to the Japanese nagamaki.
Long,
I think I've seen that one.
long stick with sword on end. That's English.
It's kind of like
It is kind of like a katana, but just like a really long handle so that you can maneuver it better, I
if
guess.
you look at it though, the blade stem, whatever you call it when it's no longer.
Oh no, you are not allowed in here. You are not allowed in. You're gonna eat all that spicy chips on my floor. Come on.
Immediately goes up.
Yeah, he immediately went to the spicy chips.
That from Christmas.
Yeah. Well, no, I just bought those because I was like, I want a spicy chip. Yeah, you can have some. I'll put those outside.
Yeah, if I want to get you sick.
Look at these bad boys. What is a loop on the end for?
Oh, that's fat.
It's for hanging it from your belt. No.
I wish I could remember what else I said I was going to spend a bunch of money on, but I can't.
A car.
No.
Oh. What does Connor want? What would Connor want? Art. NFTs. No.
NFTs. No.
NFTs.
It might have been done. I might have been making a gun. I think it might have been.
I mean, ammo's a good investment right now.
Sure.
Yeah, for my Blue Forge.
I broke my phone's screen protector.
Okay.
My last screen protector.
I think I'm running both of my electronics right now do not have screen protectors on. That's scary. I need to do that.
Yeah. Treading unknown waters.
I ordered SD card from Amazon, and they're now 5 days late.
Oh.
I want to put it in my phone because my phone, I realized, only has 128 gigs.
Supply chain crisis finally catching up.
It is freaking.
After the rush for Christmas, it seems like they probably put like this insane amount of investment into getting Christmas on time, and they're like,
Okay, we're done now.
give up the ghost.
We are out.
Because like everything arrived on time from Amazon.
Well, I mean, like the whole like freaking chip shortage is definitely hitting. Like
lights.
Yeah, there's a light right there, the little thing right there with this end.
Is it new?
Yeah, they're actually really old. Do you know where those were from?
Oh.
No, do you know where those were?
Television.
Yes,
Hey.
they were behind the television that we were playing 007 on for the Wii. It's on my birthday. That's probably where you would remember those. They're from IKEA, and we got them literally like 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh, I'm so much better at this game than you guys are.
I know. Look, guys, easy to find money. Easy to find. Sorry, those are references you wouldn't get, guys.
Look at this. Just say that at Catherine sometime. Easy to find mine. She'll be like, what?
Emily's friend that is being a nurse makes these knives, and he gave me one.
Being a nurse.
Yes, he's learning to be a nurse. There we go. I like the layout. This scares me a little bit. This is the finger, like it's quite close to the blade. I think it's kind of for whittling because, you want to just whittle over this kind of thing. But that action is very smooth.
So he made that.
Yes, he ordered all the parts and assembled it and sells them, apparently. You can buy this. And you can apparently take these off the colors and make them different.
So you're saying like he's choosing what parts to put together.
Well, I think he had them made. There's no. He had them manufactured and ordered.
I wonder if that's a successful business.
I don't know.
Maybe
I mean, if he minds. I think he does. I mean, he has a bunch of them instead. But
that was a bit loose.
well, no, you just click it and it will close. Hold it and with kind of yeah. You don't need to. You can flick it out with the trigger on the back right there.
Oh, you mean with it?
Yeah. You can also just do that. Yeah. You need a little bit of. There you go. It's a nice one. I wish it kind of clicked a little bit more when it was closed, but
I tend to go for a knife blade that's not as fat this way.
maybe I don't know what shape this is. It's almost like a fishing knife almost.
Yeah, it has the look of a specialized knife, some sort.
This one I like too. The shape of it a little better.
That one's it's not as stubby. It's definitely different proportions.
More pocketable. This one is. And I love the click at the end there. That feels it's reassuring when you do that here.
And that's just one that you got somewhere.
My parents bought me that one in Vegas from it's a name brand. Doesn't quite go all the way. Yeah, you have to click it a little bit just. But when you click it back, it's like, and you're like, okay, it's closed. And you're like, but it's smaller. I broke the frick. This is when I broke the thing.
Broke the tip, you mean?
I broke the tip. No, I think the clip. The clip go across. Are you gonna take a shower?
I already took one, but I might take one again because I'm just. I might take one again because I'm just not feeling good.
Yeah, you're getting sick, aren't you?
Cold-like symptoms. Yes.
Cold-like symptoms.
Seems the headache medicine's good.
That's good. Hopefully, I don't get sick. That would not be fun for work.
Well, you probably sleep more than I do, and that is a huge factor. I hear.
Really.
How much you sleep, even if it's just like not even chronic, even if it's just like leading up to it.
Then I guess it just gives your body more time to fight it or something. I don't know.
More straight.
I guess because it's not focusing on anything else.
Yeah. Sleep deprivation, I hear, kind of sucks up resources for the rest of your body to deal with keeping your brain running properly. So,
Yeah, the brain's kind of important.
an important organ.
Just a little bit.
So,
What are your plans for that? Are you gonna sharpen that?
I don't know. It sounds. But the thing is, I don't know how to do it without ruining it.
Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, get a whetstone and have a little more control over it, and then you can. I've heard it's kind of if you know how to do it, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like soothing.
Kind of like when you're going like you've got your stone and you're just like that.
Yeah. I don't know what you do for swords.
Or maybe I think maybe even a sword you go with this, and
I think you'd have to hold. Yeah, a lot of times they.
or you'd use a grindstone.
Yes.
Which
Well, I think usually grindstones are for like big adjustments. In movies they're like.
well, this is a big adjustment.
Yeah, that is. You might need to. Yeah.
Well, we have a grindstone of sorts already. Gosh, it's dual. It's got two of them.
That one would be scary. That one takes a lot of material off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you're gentle.
You'll make a really rough edge. Unless it has, does it have like the water? Does it have a sharpening bit on it? You might be able to buy. Yeah, there are sharpening wheels. Buy them, and they're still good for large adjustments. Is the tang loose in that?
I don't know. Maybe they're supposed to be clay,
Right, yeah. Maybe, yeah.
but there probably isn't supposed to be a rocking sound or propagation of rocking feeling through the blade. It probably should just feel bendy.
Yeah. It should just probably feel bendy.
But what do you expect?
Yeah.
I kind of want to take it apart, but I don't see how.
I think I actually here. I think maybe we can just
Oh wow. Someone tried
tightened
that.
up though.
Someone tried that and it didn't work though.
Yeah, it's just. Oh, it's like these links are moving separately. See? Huh. I wonder if it's like under that or something, like under this bit right there.
This gives me the impression of at least
The knob on the back or something.
it gives me the impression that there's a stem in the middle.
Yeah, that might be good.
Because like the way that you're twisting it made like those sounds.
Yeah. Ooh, that might go through the whole. Yeah.
It makes me think it's an actual blade.
Dang.
Just like something.
It was
That's like it's like a little
cuts off the end.
yeah. Let's just
In. Yeah. Like every sword maker's
every time he starts
like every one. Don't worry, guys. It has Loctite.
it's like JB knows
JB welded on. Yes. I mean, JB well gonna get. It's pretty serious. Like
some serious.
it's some pretty serious stuff. If you let it
Here,
here,
metal with a two-part epoxy.
yes, yeah, because well, it has metal mixed in with it basically. For the best results, though, you have to like rough up the surface and then weld it.
Didn't notice it was in.
Yeah, all the way.
Oh.
Hello.
See, the other thing is that there's no convenient way of like carrying it, so it's like
It slips right out. It has to be up. It has to be upright.
yeah, what's there like if you hung it
Is it level there? Is that like the?
like it's about this long. Like, if you hung it like down here. But where they're supposed to hang? I think that's where they're supposed to hang.
Maybe, yeah.
I think I remember seeing like the janissaries. They're walking around.
Janissaries.
They're walking around and someone's like down here.
No, not the like when it have to.
It's like
waste.
yeah, that seems about right.
That is like. That sword is like. Oh! Well, that was kind of gross. What happened?
It literally
My gosh.
holy smokes! It's definitely plastic, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there. Sure, yeah, you sure, bud.
John, yeah, sure, you betcha. Oh,
You definitely need some.
that's why I'm
but
so wide open.
lift. Which way did it go in?
I think it was the other one.
Look at that. How did that even happen? Look, it broke. Like there's like a tooth on it. Like how did it get cast on it?
Well, I think it's broken. So I don't think anything. Oh, I don't know.
Like how did it get? It's like a locking mechanism.
That is kind of strange. Maybe it just like moved so quickly that it kind of bent out of the way.
I mean, you could super glue it, and I think it'd be almost as strong because super glue is pretty wicked stuff.
I don't care. I don't care.
That's still good.
This is still intact.
This is pretty cracked.
Probably cheap as hell, but
Oh yeah, yeah. You know how much I bought that for? Nah, we'll keep it a secret. I'll try to maybe glue this together and see how smooth it is sometime. I have some serious super glue.
it probably shouldn't make that noise.
Ringing.
And it's bouncing up against the plastic.
Is that plastic, you think?
Yeah, that's plastic. So this must be.
Well, these aren't plastic.
No, I think they are.
You think those are?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's plastic. I don't know why I feel
Sure.
kind of cold.
Are you sure?
I think it's plastic. Here. Well, I can't show you now, but like it looked on the inside like it looked like plastic. You can put it in front if you want.
That sounds like a lovely Chinese name, but
Chinesium.
yeah,
It does feel like metal. It's cold.
yeah. I don't know. I can grind it and see if it
Shock it, but you get a spark. Do you have your That's well. That's what you do. Do you have your
My lighter.
Yeah, your lighter.
Um, I have my
Yeah, sure.
I have my gas lighter and just leave it melt.
But you need your electric.
Yeah, it's metal. It's not heat. That would have melted it by now.
I guess I'm melting the wood. Fake wood. Feel heat propagating.
It's cold now. But well, that makes sense too. If it's still cold, then that means it transferred it to other parts of the metal.
Oh, what do I look like plastic on this? Or maybe like the middle's plastic. Maybe that the middle's plastic.
This is all plastic. This is all plastic right here.
Wait, does it do the thing? No, I think this is plastic right here. Yeah, they feel different. Feel the bottom and then the middle. That feels cold. Well, the middle feels warm. Room temperature.
Maybe I'll melt this bit. I'm gonna do that's taking it real good.
Maybe it's not.
This is definitely plastic. I know it for sure it's gonna melt. Stab my door.
It's already so damaged.
So damaged.
Don't go near the.
You just went through it.
Well, not through the. Wait.
Oh my gosh! What did you do? Where did you stab?
It didn't come through.
Oh my gosh! You put dent in my door.
Oh no!
Oh no!
No.
That's so bad. Oh.
I know they're cheap. So
Yeah,
I figured it
they're
would.
interior doors. They're interior doors.
If you were staying up against there, you're some bad odds.
Right through. Right
I
through.
mean, you could deal with an intruder.
You could, yeah. Stabbing? That would do it.
Run them right through.
Yeah.
This would do it.
It would.
This would probably even hack off someone's head if you swung hard. Or like
Roughly.
mostly off.
Yeah, it would do a lot of damage
You'd
just
kill
when hitting somebody. Yeah, it more like a club, a sharpened club.
Not if you swung John at the neck. The neck is soft enough that you could go into.
A little bit, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Hit this box. Hit this box. I don't know. Hang on.
This. That looks like
No, there's stuff in that. Don't hit that one. Since it's here, hit this one. Edge or something.
Hold it up. So.
Hit it here so that you don't hit my desk.
And put a bunch of juice into that. Oh, and it's got plastic too. That's gonna really plastic is gonna be tough.
It's like half an inch.
Just put it on its spine. Like, are you trying to keep
On
it
his
half?
spinal cord. Back up, guys. Just gonna throw this to
Yeah,
the
right.
screen.
What's that more?
Ooh,
That was crap.
definitely like squished it more than
Seriously. But I do wonder, like, if you were actually putting some serious swing into that, which I'm not willing to do. Like, what would happen?
We'll go outside and do that.
Yeah,
I don't want to like have it slip out or
Yeah,
like
eventually.
break and fly.
I'll put some serious edge on this so it could take us.
Then it could go in. Yes.
And
Maybe
then-
we'll do like a sharpening weekend. We need somewhere to put it now, though. I guess we can make like a leather sheath for it or something.
I wonder how we would sharpen the point, because the point's not actually sharp. I mean, it could stab someone easy, but
Yeah. You just get these things, you know, and then they all would come.
oh yeah, good point. Yeah, it would naturally come to the point as you sharpen it.
Yeah. Yep. I finished. It even gives you a steel rating on it.
Yeah,
What is that?
we didn't know if we could trust it, but it's actually a high quality steel from what I read.
Really?
And I don't think high quality steel is particularly expensive. I mean,
If it's this thin and it's about, you know,
just pretty much all steel is cheap now.
well, cheap generally. Yeah.
Stainless even.
What?
This is stainless, obviously.
This is upside down too. This is the thing. Meaning like, okay, it's fine like this when it's sheathed, but like usually don't you do the art or if you're holding it?
I don't know. Also, wait, can you look up how to check if a soda's balanced?
Okay.
see, let's see. You check. A.
It's so much harder to type standing up. There's a video. I don't. YouTube videos are just.
I saw an article.
Whatever. Okay.
Why it matters, where it's located. Point out, with most swords, however, we find the volume balance about 2 to 3 inches up the blade. Yeah.
I mean that. Wow.
Well, that's not that shocking.
Well, I mean, I guess yeah. It's. I mean, it's the right thickness. You know, usually what throws off how unbalanced the sword is like if this is really thick or something, then it's like, or this is really heavy.
This is a good. What is Aragorn saying? This is a good sword. Does he have a British accent? I can't even remember now. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. This is a good sword.
Sharper.
Shart.
Is this a website? Let's see. The sword might have a website.
Yeah, I tried. I couldn't find anything. Here, I'm not gonna do that.
Worth a try. It's not looking good, guys. Boy.
I did find a knife somewhere that was a sharper brand,
Really?
but there was no way to find anything connected to it. So
Maybe it was promotional. Maybe this is really rare. And this is like very valuable.
but what was interesting is that it was a knife company and it had the same logo. So
It actually had a
definitely was
knife
the same.
company.
So that's what's interesting, right? Is that it's from a proper knife making company, as far as I can tell.
So you're like, like
I'm kind of wondering if like this is just like lower end product,
yeah.
and like maybe because the thing is, the most expensive part about creating a sword is not actually going to be the blade anymore.
What do you think?
Right? I mean, unless you're like going for like the handmade quality level,
Oh yeah.
which is insanely hard to do and hard to match with any kind of regular old
Like and
mass.
tempering it and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're just going for like something that a knight would have used,
Yeah. Something basic.
something that's of perfectly good quality, it's like it's not even expensive. It's just like you can like mass produce it with machine.
If you use a high enough grade of steel, then it will keep an edge and it will.
Yeah. And so what's left then is this part, and that's the most expensive remaining part if you're being artistic and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and like the build quality of this, how this connects to this.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into making that really strong if you actually want it good. So,
Even this might be expensive in some ways. So yeah,
there we go.
I don't know. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Same.
Goodbye twice because I meant goodbye and also it was a goodbye.
Okay.
And now I have a hole in the door.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah. Good night. Ah. That was a random tangent.
Yeah, just a bit.
I hope he learned about swords and guns, weapons of various types and makes. And that very informative and, just all around useful side tangent. Thank you for joining me and Connor and Isaac Anderson journey to learn about swords.
Going back towards fifth generation, confirmation production of G5 mini film set for May.
This May?
And first season of the new series to drop in September.
Nice.
What
Looking forward to that.
streaming service? Like on Netflix or something?
Yep.
Ooh. That'll be a change instead of it being, we have to like freaking basically pirate it. We can actually get it officially.
And thanks to my mom, I finally have access. So, certainly, it's been a lot easier. I was also able. We were also able to watch a new Aardman short film earlier back in December.
Well, you can also watch Arcane. But seriously, Arcane, good show. If you ever get the chance, or if you want to watch a series on here, definitely would suggest. So good. So good. Very unexpected. But it's on Netflix. Right, go watch it. What are you waiting for? I mean, it's not even that many episodes. It's like, what, 9 episodes or something like that? I mean, each episode's like an hour, but I mean, in the grand scheme of TV shows, it's not that long. But I did like the artistic style of Gen 5. It's actually got really good really decent graphics for a movie that was, not like probably going to be released into movie theaters. It's got very decent graphics. Voice acting, don't have anything against it. I feel like voice acting's almost like slipped off on some shows as of late because like not on Arcane, but like on other shows, like even just some movies I've seen just in passing recently, like even Encanto, the new Disney movie. I feel like parts of that were like recorded in like their home studio or something like that. Like the quality was like bad at some points. And I was like, what is happening? Like this is Disney recording
I mean,
audio.
given the situation in the world, that is kind of understandable.
Well, I don't know. I mean, people are going to work and doing their jobs. It's like it's just go in and record something. You're even in like a big box in a recording room. It's not like there's people with you. You're just in a big foam box and they just record the thing. You don't even have to talk to anyone physically. You just got to come in and walk into a box and do your parts. I don't know. It just felt a little lazy for like a Disney movie. I'm like, come on. And it was like a big drop in quality. Also they could have just like sent them like a mic or something, like a really good mic or whatever. But it was just like not good. That's happened with like a couple other shows that I saw. It was like it's less of a thing for the other ones because I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's a TV show. But like I don't know. In some of these higher budget things, it's like like the audio quality just drops suddenly, and you're like, what's happening? It sounds like a picky thing, but it was like very noticeable to me. Like it actually took me out of the universe. You know what I mean?
Well, like 2017, the any of the actors and actresses I didn't recognize, I've grown fond of thanks to the film, and was actually referred to one of them being in a. You know how there have been these live musicals coming up on NBC every holiday season?
Yeah.
Krakowski, the voice of Haven, was supposed to be in there, but health reasons caused them to switch actresses.
That kind of sucks. Well, they suck. I think those penguins in Madagascar when they go to the Antarctic. Well, this sucks. That was a good part of that movie. You guys been reading any books recently?
I've
So. Oh, go ahead.
I've occasionally picked up one or two from the holiday collection.
Ooh.
So I'm also going through a few. So also going a few other things. I've recently been at a Airbender cartoon craze and took another look at some of the took another look at a couple of took another look at a couple of books based around such I picked up. First time I went to Portland for Comic Con. One is the series art. One is the series art book. Another is the other is a trade collection for the Search comic.
I haven't done comics in a while. Have there been any more My Little Pony comics? I watched like a video on like how the recent ones were kind of a waste of the season 10. You know, like they were just really repetitive, and that's kind of what I got down to. I read like a couple of the issues for season 10, and it was just kind of like the same thing.
Kind of samey.
Yeah, just the same thing over and over, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
It also
unfortunately.
introduced, yeah, it also introduced like 10 new characters every 3 books, so like you just didn't get invested in any of them because you're like, I don't know these people, and I only knew them for like 2 comics, and then they went away.
And then
so
the big villain group at the end for 2 issues. It's like, even I had the issues keeping track of that. Like, wait, I forget, who was this guy?
supposed to know you. Yeah, not the best. I don't know why that happened. It was kind of lackluster way to really deal with these great characters. They just kind of didn't use them. Like they could have done so many other things that would have been just really easy. Like, you know, you could have just written stories about like the main 6 growing up, you know, and finally, you know, maybe life changing and stuff like that, and the scary things that come with that. And we kind of got like one comic series about that with like Pinky and Cheese, but that was about it. And it was like they didn't even get anywhere really. It was kind of unsatisfying, the conclusion. You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of looking at each other.
And the finale just felt kind of derivative of the season 9 finale. Like, oh, all these races coming together, something, elements of harmony. But even more races this time. Like, wait, we just did this.
Wait a second. I don't know. I just was expecting better of them, and it didn't.
Yeah, if I had to summarize the season 10 comics in like one sentence, it would be wasted potential.
Yeah, let down. I guess that's 2 words.
That's why I decided not to say one word, but a sentence. Even the end, like short sentence, but
Yeah, the aggravating part is that it was very easily fixed. You know, like you could have just done a bunch of short, slice of life stuff. You don't need to have like a big villain or anything. No one would have cared. You know what I mean? You don't need like a big payoff or something. You could have just done a bunch of comics with, just them being, the main 6, because we didn't really get many slice of life really small slice of life stuff, and a lot of people like those episodes the most, anyways. Like where you dive into the
Yeah.
character a little bit more, and it
And
would
the
have been
fact that it
cool to
was
get.
so short.
Yeah, it
Like
was what, how
season
many
10 was like
issues?
what? 12 issues?
Yeah, and then they wasted like what, 6 of them on like the continuations of stories that you didn't really care about. You know, you introduced like these characters and you like try to cram as much stuff into like 2 issues and then move on. You're like, okay, this is not a good. It's like this is not a good. It was not
Yeah,
led.
it's like, eh, yeah, the elements of harmony. Well, what if there was, I don't know, even more elements of harmony?
Yeah, that was another thing. It just made the main 6 like less special unintentionally. I
Yeah.
think like it was gonna be like, oh, there's even it's they're working together or something, but in the end, you just ended up with everyone being weaker. If everyone's super, then no one is.
Oof.
It's Incredibles. It was the Incredibles all along. It was basically that though. Like if everyone's special, then no one is. Basically, there's so many. If there's literally elements of harmony freaking everywhere, then it's like okay, it's less exciting.
And I mean, I
You know.
kind of sort of get what they were going for. Like, different cultures might show these traits in different ways, kind of thing, but
They
still.
didn't really do that even. They didn't really dive into
Yeah.
any of that, and it would have been boring anyways. It's kind of not very interesting to me. Or, I don't know. It's just not interesting. Well, I think the big reason why it wouldn't be very interesting is you just don't know these characters at all, and you're like just expected to get invested in them when you haven't known them at all. And also, adding characters usually just splits your um, interest in things, right? You know what I mean? If you have it's what's happened with Marvel, I think. There's too many characters now and too many main leads, and so and they just keep adding more and more side characters that you need to know about, so you just care less and less about all of them, basically. But
Mm.
it basically it's that, but just condensed down. If you add more and more characters, then you can't grow any of them basically. They all will only get a certain amount of screen time or page time or whatever it is. And then you just won't care about it, and they don't have any character because they can't. It's too little, too late. I don't know. Disappointing. I hope they do something else. Or I hope to see Gen 5 or 4, I don't know, sometime again. Just, it was fun to see them in the movie. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to get some more continuation of the comic, but the odds are they're going to move on to Gen 5.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they kind of tease a little bit at the end of season 10, but
Nah.
yeah, that's probably not leading anywhere.
I don't know too. Gen 5 is cool, but I watched, reviews on it and stuff to get other people's opinions because it kind of felt it was okay, right? And I kind of wanted to see why I thought it was like okay, right? Not amazing. And people pointed out that it's kind of hampering itself in setting itself in the same universe with characters that were beforehand, and that like you're now kind of going to be comparing these new characters to the other ones. You know what I mean? Because they're in the same
True.
universe, and so you're like having to make them more exciting or something than the last ones, or at least people will feel like that, right?
Yeah, although
I mean,
you also get the whole mystery of like, okay, how did things get to that point where like all the different races were like arg at each other?
yeah, it depends on how they handle it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, they kind of glossed over it they kind of then didn't have much of a direction in my mind on this movie. They definitely, like they kind of put a lot of characters again into one episode, one movie, and I kind of so in okay, let me like in Gen 4, right? You get introduced to a lot of characters right at the start, right?
Yeah.
But at the end, they how they help out is they each get to do one thing to kind of help, and then Twilight kind of takes over, right? Because we've focused on Twilight the whole time, right?
Yeah.
And so we kind of have Twilight's the main character, and we just need to know about Twilight, right? In this one, they kind of don't balance the characters too great in that, like, they don't know, Sunny's like the main character, right? But like, they kind of want to have everyone do something special, and then you kind of miss out. You kind of feel like you're, I don't know, trying to focus on different ones, and you don't know who's staying or something. You don't quite get who's going to be important. I don't know. It's just it's a little kind of shallow feeling. I don't know why. But
On the other
kind of
hand, it's also kind of thing like, okay, so one character isn't more important than the other character. Like, each character has their part to play, and maybe they're going for more of that kind of thing where it's like it'll be more. How should I put it? It won't be so focused on one character. It'll be more like the group as a whole or something. I don't know. I was going somewhere with that, but my mind was like, ugh.
I, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And I mean, the movies are always kind of, I don't know, like TV show movies never are as good as like the TV show usually. So I hope it's like that for this, and that like the show is better because it gets more time to develop the characters, and I don't know, we get to see them with more of a personality, or feels a little dilly dally in this movie, in that like it wastes a decent amount of time with Sunny at home, kind of just walking around and doing stuff, and we're getting side plots and all these things, and then she finally leaves, and then we get introduced to these characters pretty quickly, and we don't get too much about them basically. Especially the Pegasus, I don't remember their names. Like they just kind of show up, and I don't
Zip
know.
and Pip, I think it was like.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I don't know. They just don't do much. What I can remember.
Yeah, to be
They're
fair,
just like,
MacGuffin
okay.
Quest plots do tend to be
It
lacking
was
in the character department.
it was a MacGuffin quest. I forgot about that. It was a good point. They're just kind of going for the crystals, and we don't know. The crystals aren't from like. That's another thing. Like it's supposed to take place in the same universe, but then they changed a lot of the lore. Kind of feels like, you know what I mean? Like they they kind of backstep basically. So all they can do now is just go back to where they already were. You know what I mean? Like we all know what the world's going to be like if they succeed already, so because we've already seen it working, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be anything new, you know what I mean? It's the same world, so like all the laws should be the same. But then there's like these, like they can lose their power, which has never been explained before, like it's never happened. And why didn't this happen when, the Wendigos, like they had kind of a plot where this happens with like the Wendigos. And shouldn't the Wendigos shown up, or were the Wendigos totally gone now, or I don't know. Like they're kind of just
And
like choosing to acknowledge parts of the lore and not others.
yeah, that's kind of like the big mystery for this series. Like, what happened? Like, what's like the big event that caused all of this? Also, on a side
But
note,
then
it
we
was
don't
nice
even.
that it was nice that the
Sorry.
big finale wasn't another, oh, great big bad defeated by friendship blazer. Like it was like, oh, this whole quest, like really we. Something. The real magic was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I was expecting.
And I just realized I can't believe that actually applies to the movie.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going with this?
I never realized that before. It's like, wait a minute.
Wait a hot second. That is what happens.
Yes. I think it wasn't the crystals that need to be brought back together. It was everyone as like the different races as we're all ponies. Can't we get along?
I don't know. Maybe the release was kind of weird too. The lead up was kind of sudden. You know what I mean? It kind of felt like it just came out suddenly. There wasn't much build. But,
True. To be fair, it was a weird year.
yeah. I don't know. It just
nothing was normal about that year.
I'm not ragging on it like Star Wars, right? Star Wars sucked. Like the news.
Yeah.
The shows have been good, but like the new movies sucked really bad. This was like fine. You know what I mean? Like it was good.
Yeah.
Totally watchable. It was just it was kind of fun to watch mindlessly. If you're just kind of watching it mindlessly, then it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? But like where it hurts is like if you're a fan of the show or something, then you're like, okay, we just feel like we undid everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the problem with Star Wars and stuff is they want it to happen after the stuff we've already established, right? So I think writers feel like they have to undo to get to make things more interesting, but that's not true. You know what I mean? You can have a compelling story without undoing everything that we just watched. You know what I mean? Star Wars, the new Star Wars is we watched 3 movies and over years and years defeating the Empire, and they finally did it, right? Then these new movies just said, nope, all everyone, these new work that these prior movies didn't matter, and all of your investments a waste of time and everything, right? And so fans hated it because it's like, well, okay, great. So basically, you're just telling me it's been a waste of time. It's a little bit like that for this as well. It didn't do it in a disrespectful manner quite as badly, It's that, like we watched. Sorry, say what you said.
Go on. Oh, well, with the Star Wars stuff, it's like, oh, we want to pander to nostalgia. But we also say, like, oh, yeah, all that old stuff was crap anyway.
Yeah, they spit in your face and kick you instead of, yeah. This was just like, it wasn't really a spit in face or anything. It was just like, it felt like they didn't know where to go. So they just was like, okay, we'll jump forward in time and just undo everything and we'll keep going, And the big thing about the new Star Wars movies, and most people hate on it, is they have no reverence for. In this new Pony movie, they in good light, right? I mean, obviously not in the start, but like just have not changed, right? Like they didn't like. Their characters didn't just do a 180 or something, and they're trying to they're spitting in your face for watching the show. Like the main 6 are the same. It's just the world that has changed, right? Which is still bad because you're like, okay, well, the world is just fallen apart without us seeing what happened, I guess. But or why would it happen? Because we haven't seen any reason for it to fall apart. But
Yeah, although like the whole big mystery thing's actually gotten me even more invested and wanted to see the show. Like I want to see
yeah,
like
I mean, if
okay,
they
what
addressed it,
happened? Yeah.
yeah, if they addressed it. But I don't know. I feel like it just would have been more interesting just to start somewhere else. If they wanted to do like new lore, which they are doing, and they're adding a bunch of stuff to like how the magic works and stuff like that. Why didn't they just do a new series? You know what I mean? With just new, just set it somewhere else, and you can do whatever you want, and that's fine, right? But they wanted to, lasso in the old cast, just just for if it's something. Okay, I guess it all hinges on if it's important to the story. You know what I mean? Like if they have a big plot that they've thought out where the main six are, explained to of why it's fallen and they have a big arc and it's kind of cool, then yeah, that's fine. But like the movie doesn't really imply anything like that happening. But none of that happens in the
Clearly,
movie. Maybe they'll address it in the show. But
clearly they're holding that out for the eventual time travel episode.
there we go. That's what I'm waiting for. Um, I don't know. It's good. I mean, I'm ragging on it a lot, but it's a kid show. I mean, which isn't an excuse, but it's good.
Uh,
Totally watchable, and I don't have too many things to say about, like big gripes. It was kind of shallow, I guess, is what I would say, right? Because it was a movie and they didn't have much time to address characters, I guess. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I take a bunch of characters, and that's fine. I like the
Also,
designs. It's none of that is an issue. Yeah. What were you saying?
out of curiosity, it's like, is the uh, connection issues on Discord on your end or on my end? Because it is kind of storming outside. So I was just wondering if like it was my internet connection that was kind of, you know, glitchy.
Like the audio or the video or something?
Well, like you sometimes go a bit staticky, and the video would freeze for a little bit.
I'm doing okay. Um, and I don't know if it's maybe me. I don't know. I have a decent
I,
connection, it says. I think. Yeah, it says
I
I
was
have
just
3 bars. Yeah.
I was just curious because like he was right there, and he was like,
Yeah. Hmm.
and
It is windy, I guess.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's storming out.
What time is it, man? Actually. It was a good movie, and when the show comes out, I'm definitely gonna check it out. Um,
Yeah.
I hope the characters
I
are,
mean,
good.
hey, as long as it's better than Pony Life, it should be fine.
Oof, I didn't even watch that. I was like, no, no thanks.
Yeah, I realize that's kind of a low bar to set, but yeah.
It's been a real mixed bag of things recently. Dune, ooh, super great movie. Awesome visuals. Holy smokes, amazing movie. Amazing movie. And you got Pony Life. And what's and A Long Way from Home? Ooh, very, very good movie. Definitely worth a watch. Marvel or anything. What's another movie that came out recently?
The new James Bond movie?
Eh, not amazing. It's all right, I guess. If you're a James Bond fan, then it's probably hits a bit harder, but it's all right. Definitely not bad by any means. Okay. Didn't have much. I'd watch it again. It wasn't like it was unwatchable or something. Shot well, I think. I watched it a while ago. Let's see, movies that came out in Encanto by Disney was like, it's like okay. I don't know, it's all right. Free Guy,
Hmm.
pretty decent. Not amazing, but it's kind of funny if you're into Ryan Reynolds and his acting, then it's basically Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. So not bad. Uh, Again,
Oh,
Dune must watch Dune if you're into movies.
Matrix Resurrections.
I've heard it was like okay. I haven't watched it. I can't really say anything on it.
I've heard
There's
it's
that.
very meta.
And Shang-Chi, ugh, terrible movie.
Oof.
First bit was like okay, like it was pretty good, and then it just gets worse and worse as time goes on. And some people are like it was a good movie, and I'm like, no, definitely not. There's a bunch of stuff that came out streaming wise that I haven't watched. There's like freaking stuff on Netflix and things. There's like a new Diary of the Wimpy Kid movie. Animated. Did Clifford the Big Red Dog come out this year? Wow. Freaking live action.
It's like, whoa, movies came out this year?
Wow, wow, wow.
Why am I expecting a contrast with Eternals?
Oh, Eternals I heard was terrible. I don't know. Like Marvel this year and last year, not good. Not hitting good. Phew. I don't know. I have not cared about this recent Spider-Man movie was very good. Very, very good. And it's like, oh, okay. Some people know what they're doing over there still. Um, very good. Um,
Right, Eternals. I'm trying to remember. I think I read something about like the reason why they ended up using the Eternals is because they already wasted their chance with the Inhumans.
yeah. And
Hmm.
Internals wasn't good from what I heard either. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of time to watch movies, so I haven't, like if I saw that Eternals got crap reviews, and I don't want to waste my time watching it because I don't have a lot of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I haven't gone to theaters in a couple of years.
Couple of years.
I
Dang,
think the last movie I saw in a theater was Avengers Endgame.
really? Well, I would highly
I guess,
suggest go watch the new Spider-Man. If you want a good movie to just come back and watch, Spider-Man, book a ticket right now. It's very good.
yeah, I've heard as much.
Yeah,
It's just
especially
that,
if you, yeah.
yeah, I don't really trust the theater environment right now.
So, there's only one life. Oh shoot! You better pop those balloons.
Speaking of Marvel, Black Panther fans rallying behind recast Shoma.
T'Challa?
T'Challa. Oh, oh, that was so close. Did you see how close those were bullets? Wow.
I mean, I can kind of understand because
They're gonna have to recast him. He died. Unless they just don't have him in any movies again.
I think what they were gonna do is let the T'Challa character go, but pass the mantle of Black Panther onto another character, basically making it a legacy character.
What are they gonna do like that?
Which, yeah, from what I've been reading, the most likely candidate is, well, she's an anti-vaxxer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can be against it. I don't care. To each his own. It's a free country. Look at this guy shooting 2 darts. Look at him pulling his own. Look at that.
It's like, yeah, it's a free country. You're free to not get vaccinated, just as directors are free to recast your role for putting other people's lives in danger.
Well, if you got the vaccination, then, I mean, you shouldn't be in risk, right?
Yeah, well, like I said, she's an anti-vaxxer.
No, I'm saying you're the only one that's at risk if you haven't been vaccinated, right? So you're only putting yourself in danger.
You can still
Because,
get it if you're vaccinated. Sure, probably won't be as bad, but still.
I mean, I have heard this one's pretty good. I mean, we've only had 1 death from this recent I don't know what it's called, this recent string or type.
Omicron?
I don't know. Yeah. That. I don't know. I'm just going to work. Don't really care. I'm fine. I have to get it to go to this work, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like, actually, my
We
dad's
just need to
actually
get.
feeling
Oh,
a
what?
bit under the and like really lost his sense of smell. Yeah, apparently his new workplace. Yeah, my dad actually got a new job. Yeah, apparently they're pretty lax with with mask rules.
Well, I guess we're gonna all have to get it eventually. Anyways. I mean, isn't that herd immunity still a thing? We have to all have it for it to go away, or for it, for it to kind of have some immunity to it. I don't know. That's what I've heard. I don't keep up with it. We need to get back to doing work because our economy is going to collapse if we don't.
Yeah, well, with how people been running the economy, maybe a collapse needs to happen. Because like the way I see it, things aren't sustainable. Even without the pandemic, things just aren't sustainable.
Hot take.
Like you have a bunch of companies trying to pay a minimum pay and hire minimal amount of workers possible, and complaining people don't want to work.
Well, it all comes from inflation. Minimum wage isn't supposed to be what you live off of. It's supposed to be minimum wage. It's what the base. It's funny because minimum wage has actually hurt us in that like wages were actually higher before minimum wage. On average, yes, there were there were a lot of, not a lot, but there were some wages that were smaller, and you just didn't have to work there if you didn't want to work there. I mean,
Yeah,
you can also just move anywhere.
I think the original idea was that it was supposed to keep up with inflation,
It
but
hasn't.
that never really happened.
It also doesn't make sense across the country.
Because
What stuff is cheaper?
yeah, cost of living is going up, but wages are staying the same.
It's a hard thing, a balancing act, and also it shouldn't be run by the government because the government does everything slower than it should. it makes sense. You never want some, one person making all the decisions. That's what happens. Put it to the government. It's interesting.
That's
It's
why.
really complicated.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I believe we should outlaw politicians.
Yeah, there we go. But you could probably get a decent amount of votes for that. Then how would you? I would say it would be illegal. You can't. What if you couldn't? You couldn't run your whole life as a politician. You can't have lifetime politicians because you need to have people that get jobs and create jobs in office, not people that just do that their whole life and never help the economy. That makes sense, I think. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll run. You can run for mayor. It's a tough job.
I just realized, wow, this podcast got political quickly.
As things do when you talk about, I mean, if you just talk about anything long enough.
True.
What about space? Are you excited about space exploration? New space race? Pretty sick.
Honestly, for the most part, it's just a bunch of rich assholes anyway.
Well, it's better than the government's doing it. They don't get anything done and waste all our money on it. I mean, you look at NASA, right? They were supposed to deliver their heavy launch rocket 10 years ago, and they're still spending our money on it. Whereas, Blue Origin and SpaceX are setting goals and meeting them every year. And we're finally going to get to the moon within at least 5 years. Both companies have plans to go back to the moon. Finally. We should have been doing this a long time ago, in like the 50s. No, not the 50s, obviously, but like the 70s and 80s. I don't know. It's an interesting time. We got like the new telescope, the James Webb.
Yeah,
Got
I heard
launched.
about that.
That's exciting. All right.
Like, that I can get behind.
What
like,
makes you
rich people
behind
don't-
that? Oh, sorry. Continue.
Because that's for like more. That's more, or for like, discovering more things in space. Rich people rockets. It's guys, maybe you could use all that money you're spending here on, I don't know, making the world a better place. There's lots of issues on our own planet.
Well, you say that, but then you can't actually do that. It's a lot more complicated than you think. You can't just throw money at things and make it better. Well, I mean, even Elon Musk pointed this out where he was like, you have gazillions of dollars you should be paying to fix world hunger. And he's like, okay, give me a plan and I'll pay for it. I will pay for any plan that you come up with that will actually fix world hunger. And no one's took him up on his offer because there is no plan to fix world hunger. And no matter how much money you have, it's not going to fix it. So you might as well use your money forwarding humanity into space. Well, the big, so like if you read Elon Musk's goals and Jeff Bezos' goals to go to space, like Jeff Bezos' goals, he's like, I want to go to space, and I'm forwarding space exploration because I want to have manufacturing in space to save the Earth. I want to have all the dangerous things that we manufacture in space, not on Earth, so that in the future we can all have the same stuff that we want, just cleanly. So we can generate power in space and generate batteries and make all these dangerous and nasty stuff that we have to do on Earth in space. And instead of mining metal from our Earth and destroying it, we can mine asteroids that are worthless, basically, right now, but are full of really rare minerals.
until they decided it's still more profitable to do it on Earth anyway.
But it wouldn't, because these asteroids are made out of solid gold. Like, literally. You can find asteroids that are made out of platinum and uranium and all these incredibly expensive metals in large, vast quantities. Just
But you also
sitting
have
on
to
the
factor
surface.
in the cost of actually launching the rockets and stuff, which cost quite a bit of money.
And dropping every year. I mean, within the past couple of years, we've dropped launch costs from what it was. It was like literally almost $1 million per pound, and now it's about 10,000 per pound, which is like a magnitude of order cheaper. And also, it's going to drop. Some of those heavy lift rockets that are coming up, they're going to get down to a couple $100 per pound, which is really, really cheap. And also, if you think about it, if we mine asteroids, we're not launching rockets, we're just dropping it to Earth. There's no rockets that we're launching. It's just falling back through the atmosphere. And then we collect it.
Honestly, this whole new space race thing is just a giant dick measuring contest between rich assholes.
No, that's good because it encourages risk taking. I mean, we have to do some. I mean, yeah. I mean, they are rich, but I mean, somebody's got to do it. And I mean, it's better than them buying worthless cars and big houses. I mean, Elon Musk sold all of his houses and cars, and he lives in a box next to the launch site. He literally owns nothing but like an apartment. And
yeah, if you actually believe that, I have a bridge to sell you.
you can literally watch him walk from the launch site to his house and then walk back. You can follow his movements if you want. You can look up also on, you can see who buys properties in the government. You have to, register for taxes and everything. Also, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have paid for the most taxes out of everyone in the entire history of the world now. They have the highest taxes they have paid for the most taxes of anyone in the entire world history. And that's pretty nuts. The amount of money they have to spend in taxes is nuts. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Is that according to them?
No, I mean, you can look it up. They have to. There's, tax registries. It's expensive stuff to be rich. It's not cheap. Also, they don't own that much money. They own that much money in their
Let's see now. Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos paid a true tax rate of 0.98%.
That's a lot of money if you think about it. If he's a billionaire.
As his wealth grew by a staggering $99 billion between 2014 and 2018.
What website is this from?
Forbes.
Yeah, I'd go off of, like actual government websites, not journalists. Anyways, we're getting into weeds. I just kind of wanted to know what your guys' thoughts on space exploration were. I thought it was kind of interesting and cool. I mean, we couldn't even get to our space station until recently without paying for Russia to do it for us. We finally have our own rocket that we can get back to the space station with.
Oh, I thought America loved outsourcing their jobs to other countries.
Not military. We can't. Anything that goes to the military, you cannot outsource it. Even metals and stuff. You have to source every part of something that goes to the military or NASA through American sources, or it won't be funded. And I've worked for government contracts, and
At least not public. At least not public. I can't speak today. Public.
it's not
I can't say the word.
publicly. Publicly.
Yes.
There you go.
For some reason that L keeps getting me.
It's not the government doing it, it's small contractors. I mean, if you go to Boeing, they have to get it from the thing, from US sources. And the government follows you and makes sure that you do.
Disclaimer.
You have to source it because, and it's not just because of, some random law. It's because if we're in war, then we have to be able to build it ourselves. That's the reason. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense that you have to be able to make everything that we fight with or go to space with through our means. It's not just because we want to do it, for some national pride or something like that. It's because in a war chain, that's how you have to do it. Because you can't be buying metals from Russia to build tanks to fight them. It doesn't make any sense. They won't sell you the metal if we're at war with them. There'll be trade embargoes. Also, Russia won't sell NASA metal because they don't want us going to space with our stuff. They want us buying seats on their rockets. There's a lot of politics in going to space. And that's kind of what's limited us and why we haven't gotten back. It's very expensive.
If I've learned anything over the past few decades, politics is complete bullshit.
It's definitely against progress.
I mean, it's like they say, hey, what's the opposite of progress? Congress.
That's a good one. I like that.
And they haven't proven me wrong yet.
I mean, it is a little bit intentional. That was how the Congress was designed. It's funny because they did intentionally make it so that it would be backwards. So that rash stuff wouldn't get through. But it does hurt actual progress because obviously you need some stuff wants to get through and it gets mixed in with the bad stuff.
Yeah, like these days, politicians only care about making themselves richer.
I think for the betterment of all of us, I think we should make all bills, right? Bills, people, politicians write bills and they make them like 60,000 pages long, right? I feel like we should just not, you're not allowed to make any bill that's longer than like 4 pages or something like that, so that you can't sneak stuff in, you know what I mean? Because that's always what you're talking about, right? They're always sneaking in things and they're always like, tax cuts, and they're always making it so that you can get around stuff, you know what I mean? If you actually read through the whole page.
No, I mean in that, like, all the lobbyists invest money in the politicians to make it so that, such things that, these things are against businesses, and so the things that actually,
Sorry.
would actually, proper regulations and safety things, like, oh, no, that's against business, we can't pass that. Thanks for the money.
Such is life, right? Sucks.
Yep.
Anyways, Pony... No. I don't know. I'm excited to see. So it'll be on Netflix, you're saying?
Yep.
That's cool. And in May, you said? April or May? What was it?
A new mini movie in May and
A
the
mini
first
movie.
season in September.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Mini movie in May. I mean, that's a bit away. What's a mini movie mean? Is that only like an hour or something?
I was kind of wondering about that because like the actual movie wasn't that
Yeah.
long. So like, are we talking like a half-hour movie or like something like Rainbow Road Trip?
It's funny. Yeah, you're right. They haven't done like a full length movie. Like the other one wasn't a full length movie. So like, are they just gonna? Do they mean like another movie like that, or even shorter than that? Huh. That kind of scares me. You know what I mean? Like, are we gonna get like a really short movie? Because the other one was like what? It was like an hour long or something, right? An hour and 20 minutes
Give,
or something.
give or take.
Yeah. Like it's even shorter than that. So what is it? Like 50 minutes or something, or just like a decently long episode. I mean, like even Arcane, each episode was like an hour, like a solid 50 minutes at least.
Hmm.
Is it CG? Did they say? Is it 3D animated?
Hmm.
Um,
I'm guessing it. Well, at least for the series, probably won't be like as the same quality as say the actual movie. Figure there's probably going to be a little bit of a budget cut there,
boy.
which is understandable because movies definitely have a higher budget than a TV series.
It is a low budget. I was thinking like on Arcane scale, and I'm like, man, they did a lot of stuff for like Arcane, but I heard that Arcane had like a massive budget or something like that. So,
And I can't remember if they said anything about like how long the season was actually going to be.
ooh, yeah, how many episodes?
I'm trying to see. I don't know. Like, could be a standard 26 episode season, could be like a lower 13 episode season. I don't know.
Pony Life stopped. Is it
As far
over?
as we can tell.
Dead.
Yeah, I think it was only meant as like a stopgap up between the end of Gen 4 and the movie.
Hmm. Interesting.
That and the general reaction and from the fandom seems to be kind of.
Yeah. I didn't want this. Would have just waited for some. It feels like.
They
I hope it doesn't.
TTG'd MLP.
Yeah. I hope they didn't spend too much money on it, and that we won't get that money in the form of the next season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would have rather them have spent probably that money that they made on this series than on making the next one good. You know what I mean?
Although
Instead
given
of
the
spending.
simplified art style, I can't imagine that it spent too much money on it.
Hopefully not. We can only hope. There's a lot of darts flying everywhere. Do you see that? Where do we go? Armor piercing. APD instead of APC. Special AP darts gain increased damage and popping power, plus additional damage to Moab class balloons. Take my money, jeez.
Trying to.
Spectre. Sorry, what?
So it looks like they're trying to arrange for moving some robot equipment in New York before Wind Tower Factory can break ground. And looking at the equipment, I'm certainly hoping that there's better better places for them, given the significance they played in that region's railroad history. So we're finally getting something regarding the Filmer and Western stuff that was sold a while back. Some of that stuff has arrived at Volvo Auto Museum in Illinois. Still need to keep an eye open for the rest of it, but good to know that the Formula Ranger stuff will be publicly seen again.
Cool. Well, after this match, I think I'm gonna have to call it for tonight. Sorry, I kind of hijacked the stream, but I don't know. I had a free weekend. I was like, wow, I should tune back in, see what's up. See how you guys been.
Yeah.
Not quite sure about handshaking, but you did kind of start us off a little bit differently.
That's a nice way of saying it. Look at these. I'm getting hypnotized by these monkeys flying around my screen. I'm like, whoa, whoa, look at them go. Wow. One more level.
So apparently some concept art for either either cancel Gen 4 film or delete the scenes from the Gen 4 film.
Where?
There was an Equestria Daily article about that.
Oh. 25. What is it?
There was certainly something going on here, according to, from what I was seeing.
Okay, guys, I need to go to bed. I should not have stayed up this late. I'm trying to get on a good schedule, and my work starts at 6 a.m., so that's not good.
Yeah, and like we are running a bit late compared to usual lately, because yeah, again, there's been some changes to format, so we haven't been running quite as long lately.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that was also meant to try and shorten things down a bit.
Cool. Well, thanks for letting me on. Definitely kind of invited myself, but it was fun to catch up. And hope to see you guys soon. I'll try to go to the next Everfree for us, whenever that is. It's a ways off, but maybe I'll come back for another stream when the Mile opening movie comes out or something like that. We could try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see how booked I am. I do work 4/10s, so I get like a 3-day weekend, which is super nice. But I probably will be taking every and all overtime I can get. I need to make as much money as possible before the
Yeah.
wedding and moving out. And also the climate's not, I mean, like, just the gas, holy smokes. I fill up my car, which is like not that big a tank, it's like 50, $60. You're like, holy smokes. It's like $4 for a gallon, you know. That's so much, and it's so expensive to just drive around. I'm trying to drive, I have to drive a lot of places. Anyways, sorry, going on another tangent. Take her easy. Maybe I'll do some art and post it or something. I haven't done art in a while. I need to get back into that. I still have my drawing screen. It's literally sitting right here on the floor. I just haven't put it up. And I heard that some of my fan fictions are starting up again, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna have to catch up on some of those. Take her easy, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Don't spin out in the roads. Lots of accidents. Take it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go to work if you. See you soon, hopefully, and okay.
Well, Uh,
Keep swimming so long it's keep swimming so long it's a bit keep swimming so long kind of like classic ways can be a bit unexpected, sort of.
yep.
Let's see, what else was there? I was going get another piece of film behind the get another piece of film behind the scenes. Development test shots shared by Graham Gallagher.
Hmm.
The upcoming MHA screenplay. The upcoming MHA stage play is going to be running in 3 cities throughout April and May.
Hmm. Nice.
SAO decided to get a directorial debut with Like Horse Recall.
Nice. That's good.
Spencer with some controversy for this, especially regarding artwork. Square person hoping NFTs are becoming a major trend in gaming going forward.
Yeah, no. Just no. I mean, hell, from what I've read, a bunch of NFTs are nothing but stolen art, are nothing but stolen artwork.
Schneider, current deputy champions, apparently trans. Highest earning female in ship history.
Hmm.
One of the polls has gone back and forth. Is on a back and forth again, as Logan's apparently encased 15 Game Boy Colors and Resins, making a Pokemon tabletop.
And that has made people very angry.
Right, which is $100 million settlement, gender discrimination lawsuit. Remedy partner with Tencent for Vanguard, including mobile.
Mhm.
Good over Ragnarok to be coming September 30th, though could be a placeholder.
Yeah, things like that, you never know.
On a similar note, Final Fantasy 16 seems to have a continued delay. So do expect more of a big reveal coming this spring.
I mean, with how last year was, that's kind of with how the past few years have been, that's understandable. Like, it, they should take their time, make sure it's a nice, polished product. And who am I kidding? It's gonna be a buggy mess when it releases. Yeah, it used to be that games were at the very least like 98% finished by the time of release. Sometimes you can't even get 50%. And of course, I probably won't be getting it till like 3 years after release, at least. His first year will be like, well, PS5. Second year, Epic Game Store. Third year, Steam.
And finally, our condolences go to the family and friends of John Randon, NFL legend, Oakland Raiders coach, spreadcaster, CBS Fox, Super Bowl champs 77.
And if you haven't heard of him from that stuff, you may have heard of him from Moonbase Alpha. John Madden, John Madden, John Madden.
Ralph Warburton, Olympic ice hockey player, 48. Janice Long from Top of the Pops. April Ashley, Road Hong Kong. Andrew Fox, Batman Ultimate Evil. Jean-Marc Vallée, director of Dallas Buyers Club, Show Projects, Big Little Lies. Most of the Golden Girl, Betty White.
Yeah.
C. Fred Berling, founder Cuyahoga Valley Scenic. Billy Turner, trainer for Seattle Salou, Triple Crown winner 77. Stephen J. Lawrence, Sesame Street composer. Johnny Jeffries, British Motorcycle Road Racer. May Fairhurst, previous Chief Justice at the State Supreme Court. And John Bowman. Writing credits include Saturday Night Live and In Living Color.
Yeah, I have no idea what the next week's. Well, okay, next weekend should be fine, as far as I can tell. Uh, yeah, this week should be fine. Like, wait, when does? Okay, good. Uh, Games Done Quick starts on the 9th. Goody, so I'll have to miss out for the show. Yeah, it's like it's that 2 week period of the that happens twice a year where I watch my charity gaming marathons. So yeah, might try to stream tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on what the apartment schedule looks like. When we do stream, I want to stream for at least 3 hours because that's a good several episodes when I get to editing. Depending on how much I cut out, of course. But yeah. Ooh, I also need to I need to edit some snack videos because. Yeah, I actually didn't do an episode last week just because of everything that was going on. But yeah. Anyway, it's late and. Yeah.
Okay, right. So as I meant, so as mentioned, so as mentioned previously, the manga's month will be focused on various avenues for our lovable bear. We've started with a TV show. Next, we go to direct-to-video film.
Yep.
To which, stay safe, stay well, get facts, get posted. Hopefully, we will see you next week. Take care.